So Banter Bubble's looking better than it feels right now at the moment. I must say there's a bit of a sense of bearishness floating around with a little bit of some of these altcoins melting it down a little bit. We saw 𝗏𝗂𝗍𝗁 was buying BTC again and immediately BTC dumped. We've got the Dixie pumping. What do we have? We got oil pushing higher. We got the S&P maybe turning over. I've started building a short on that one. I've also started shorting gold. So we're going to see how that's going to play out. And then I've got tokens that have broken trends today. I've got Injective broke a trend. I've got Render breaking trends. We've got Ocean. We got THETA. And then I'm looking for 2 entries on 2 potential tokens that I've brought 𝗵𝗍𝗁𝗂𝗀 in here to help me with. He's going to 𝗚𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 this stuff for us, and we're going to try and grab an entry on 2 of these tokens. So we've got a lot to get through today. Let's get right into it. And I see some of the crew are piling in here, and immediately Luba's told us she's gone short on gold as well. So we're going to talk about this gold short. I've also got a poll running in the chats. I want to talk to you guys about ETH and Solana. This ETH situation is absolutely killing me. It's a total stable coin right now. Let me know in the chats what you guys are thinking there. There is a poll right now in the chats. So I want to see what your thoughts are on the current situation with ETH and Solana. Let's get into this BTC chart. BTC 2 hour. So just another classic 618 bounce here for BTC. On that news, 𝗏𝗂𝗍𝗁 announced that they'd bought more BTC. And what happens every time this guy announces he buys BTC, the market collapses. Well, not necessarily collapses, but the market gives us a little dump. And they hit us with the 618 again. So perfect move here for BTC again, 618 in play. And just so you can look back in the history here since the 15th of November, we've seen the 618 has been very dominant for BTC on this trend up here. So again, just coming into play, and this is now a key support region I'm going to be watching. And then I have highlighted another potential dark zone here, the 𝗚𝘂𝗀𝗁𝗂 zone, which is based on this current liquidation heat map that we're looking at. And the downside here is this 36,700 region. So if we do get to this area here, that is quite a hot area, and we're really going to want the bounce there. And that should flush out any of the longers that have their liquidation levels around about that region. So we're going to watch this one closely, this 36,700. But right now for me, all about this trend. Let's see if we get that trend moving. Otherwise, 618 again, maybe a little test. And then we've got the dark zone down there. So those are the levels I'm watching for the day. And we're going to see how things play out. Now, 𝗏𝗂𝗍𝗁, I mean, this guy doesn't stop buying BTC, does he? He's on $593 million worth of BTC. And what does the market do? The market just wicks it down. Like, they get annoyed almost every time this guy buys. But yeah, look, long term, I would say that's a bullish play for us. Now, this Dixie's been performing. We had some average news coming out in the States. It was pretty flat. You know, we're looking at Forex Factory here, but the Chicago PMI news did come out, and that seemed to push that Dixie a little bit. So we've seen this Dixie now pump a little bit harder off the 618, and that gave me a little bit more of a boost to look at these shorts on the S&P and on gold currently. So this is what I'm doing on the S&P. Still, it's not a convincing short yet, but I have started laddering in. So this is my prime XBT at the moment. You can see I now have S&P shorts that I've started building. I've got gold shorts, and I'm still long oil, and I added to an oil long, which I'm going to tell you guys about just now as well. So the S&P, you can see yesterday we had that pump. There was some dovish talk. We had that pump, a little gap up, and then they came down and they closed it. So we're going to see how this performs now. We're going to see what this candle does today and the type of reaction we get. But this is definitely a high for me. And at some point, I do feel we are going to get a reversal. And it's you can see how hot this RSI is currently. So even a little bit of some bearish divergence up there, perhaps if we get another push higher with those candles. So maybe we get, again, something along these lines, and we get the lower RSI print and then on its way down. And that should then give us that trigger to really get stuck into an S&P short. So yeah, that is how I'm playing it at the moment. Let me know if I'm going to get rinsed here or if you guys like that idea. And yeah, same with the gold at the moment. So gold is also just hanging around, and look, turning a little bit red here for us. So I'm playing this one slowly, and yeah, we're going to see how that gold plays out for us. Let's see who else is here in the chats. There's a question on Prime XBT. Does Prime XBT require KYC? I believe they do. They do require KYC. There is CoinW in the description. I don't believe they require KYC. There's also 𝗕𝗁𝘁 in the description, and I don't believe they require KYC, but you can't trade gold and those type of things on those exchanges. But if you're looking for no KYC, 𝗕𝗁𝘁 and CoinW in the description. Cameron says blurry screen. Cameron, just adjust your settings there on YouTube. You'll find your standard settings might have to change. Rudy, what's happening? I see Rudy's here. What's going on? Nix bought GNS today. Okay, yeah, that is a DEX from what I understand. We've also got DYDX and GMX. I think we can talk about. Recton Korea likes the S&P short. Okay, well, we're going to see how it plays out. I mean, basically, you know, as a trader, you're either wrong or you're rich. So that's how we work things here. And you know, if you're wrong, you get stopped, you move on. If you're right, well, you celebrate and you buy lots of cool shit. So that's how it works. Okay, let's look at the first thing I wanted to show you today. Ethereum versus Solana, and this is really bothering me. I've been sitting in this ETH long. It just stays flat. Solana's moving, all this type of thing, and these guys, DGen News, are talking about 24-hour NFT sales volume breaks $8 million on Solana, and nothing really happening on Ethereum. And we remember in 2021 when ETH was pumping like that, there was all this hype, the NFT hype. Everyone was buying NFTs on ETH, and now it seems like the party is moving to Solana, and perhaps some interest moving out of Ethereum. What I've done for you here is I've compared the Sol USDT chart to the ETH USDT, and you can see how strong Solana is currently versus ETH. And right now, it looks like we're forming a nice little bull flag here, and possibly some bigger moves to come for Sol. So, you know, if we get this breakout on this flag, it's going to be, if you have to weigh these things up, it's got to be long Sol. That's got to be the potential trade here if you have to pick between the two. So that is what I'm watching. And then Solana as well. It's been going well today considering what we've had. But yesterday we had that break of trend yesterday, and we were looking for potential retests. We were watching this horizontal support region at 58, and this is now still holding as decent support. So as far as I'm concerned, this is now support till broken. And we targeted this zone yesterday, this 58.6. I still like it as support. Backup region here at 618, which is at 56.5. So potential longs brewing here still with Sol at this support. And if we do get that move lower, you do have the backup level here at 56.5. I must tell you, I longed stacks yesterday. I don't know who longed stacks yesterday, but I longed stacks yesterday, and I got rinsed on this thing. BTC didn't do what it was supposed to do, and it came out and it chopped me up completely. And I suspect this guy also got chopped up. I see this guy Fabian D. He was also long stacks yesterday. And yeah, so both of us took a bit of a blow there. So if you were long stacks, now the trick is to wait a little bit. We got to watch BTC, and we want to make sure we get a nice solid support base. We had this nice little break here on stacks, pushed down, and it ripped back through the 200-week MA, the trend. I had a 382 there as well, and so that trade absolutely failed there. So I got rinsed there on stacks. But again, we're going to live to fight another day, and we're going to wait for this move higher. And I'm not going to let stacks get the better of me. We're going to get stuck into this one at some point. Right, let's look at the next bit of news here. And I was trying to understand why Injective was pumping. And the only bit of information I could find out here for Injective was the fact that they've listed on OKX. And if you take a look at this chart, we were watching this Injective yesterday at trend, and they came with a solid move here. We had a beautiful break for Injective, and now it looks like we are on track to hit 20. So that is the current target. If this news holds and the market likes the news, your support is going to be the 17.36. So let's see if this is just a little bit of puff and this thing blows up and then pulls back. But rebuys potentially here. We could get a nice move now on Injective to push up to 20. So I'm liking the 17.3 as support for Injective. And then we do have backup here, 618, and that is at 16.69. So 17.3, I'm really liking. Potential long here to at least 20 for Injective. And producer Fred, I ran into his office earlier when we were talking about Injective, and he says his target for next year is 32. So he's quite bullish on Injective. He seems to like this. The Visionary is saying AAVE is breaking out of the 1 hour flag. Okay, guys, well, take a look at 𝗕𝗵𝆶. That could be something we need to jump into. I do have Bruce and Simon in the back, and they're each bringing something today. Simon is bringing a small cap gem for you guys. Nobody knows about this thing. You guys are literally the earliest founders of this thing, and Simon is going to bring a little explanation. Yeah, we've all bought a little something of this this token, so stick around, and we're going to sell that one for likes. And then Simon is also coming at me with some 𝗏𝗏 stuff, because I'm looking for entries on 2 of these tokens at the moment. So we're going to bring him in just now, and then I know Bruce is there. And Bruce, I'm going to ask you to take a look at 𝗕𝗵𝆶, which is breaking the 1 hour. If you can take a look at that one for us as well. So we got the team here bringing some action, and then we've also got Ray here in the back. He's cruising, he's hitting the chats, yeah, the whole crew is here. Okay, let's look at the next one. We had some Sam Altman news, and I've got a feeling this is the reason we had Render pumping, we had Ocean pumping, we had THETA pumping. They've got some AI stuff, you know, AI related news, and we seem to get these pumps. And again, the last time we had this AI related news with Sam Altman, it was a pump and a dump situation. So eyes on Render at the moment. We did get our trend break, and same, very similar to Injective. Like we've got this 382 now that we want to look as a support buy here for Render. So targets for this guy, if we get the support buy on Render, targets here, I'm looking at 3.76 as the initial target, and then I've got this bigger weekly region up here just above 4. So call it 4 to 4.1. Is my next Render target if this news is going to hold. You know, the market's pumped this thing now, and we want the support to hold, and we want these guys to follow through. So Render support for me 3.3 at this 382. And you can see we've got a nice cluster over here, nice horizontals here, and 3.17. So these are my areas for Render, and then the massive weekly level that you guys know about. We've been talking about this one for ages. That is down at 3. So right now, interim pullback support 3.3 for Render. And that could be a nice little scalp move there for you guys, up to 3.7. And then, even bigger things to come potentially here over 4. Leroy says his name is Altman. That's why the alts pump. Bro, that's the hard dad joke, eh? Hard dad joke, yeah. J-Dog says Injective on the move again. Well, let's just double check that one. Yeah, guys, so you know the drill. We've been watching Injective here for the last couple of weeks. It's doing what we wanted it to do. We broke that trend, same as Render. Broke that trend. Let's see if we get some follow through here. Okay, let's look at the next one was Ocean Protocol. Also, broke trend on the news. A little bit of hype here with some AI stuff. Is there going to be a follow through? Well, it would be nice for us. And if we do get that follow through, the target for Ocean here is 0.515. So that is our region we are looking to hit. And again, very simple. We've got our horizontal support here. It's going to tie in with the 382. And well, let's confirm. But yeah, there we go. Horizontal tied in with a 382 for us. And again, awesome support region, nice little pullback zone. If we do get that pullback, that is a potential buy area for the longers. And again, a support zone. If you are long already, that is a support area for you on Ocean Protocol. That's the 4-hour chart you guys are looking at. See, we got requests for Super, Uni. Wrecked in Korea says dad jokes rule. Guys, I don't know. Do dad jokes rule, guys? Let us know in the chats. We can bring the dad jokes. We can bring them hard. Yeah, Matt says he's disappointed in Phantom's performance. Yeah, that's been pretty stale. FTM has been pretty boring as well. A little bit of up down and not giving us what we want. Okay, the next token I got for you today is THETA, and again, broke trend, ripped hard. A little bit of AI stuff behind THETA. Potentially that is why this was moving today. And typical THETA move though. Look at the 618 trend. Nice little dump into this region. We saw this over the last couple of days. Everyone's feeling a little bit bearish. What happens? You get the 618, you get a trend, and you get that reaction. And off THETA went, and where did it reject? 618. So again, if you are bullish THETA, you now want to wait for this rebuy, and we are moving into the rebuy zone currently. And if that move's going to continue, that's what you're going to get. So you're looking at a rebuy here at 0.997. That is a nice little retest area. So if this move's going to continue, that is your level. and quite an easy exit. You know, if you start losing these 382s, you could start cutting those regions, and obviously the 618. That's your next backup. That's your next backup zone. Yes, Mama Sniper was trading THETA. She was talking about that. She was talking about that earlier today. And Andre is asking a question about, is Matic dead? Well, that's funny because I got a funny article for you about Matic. Well, it's not very funny, but they're saying Matic's uptick is not due to organic demand. It's basically because the exchanges needed more Matic tokens. So they're basically saying that there's no retail interest in Matic currently. And the reason the price was going up was because the exchanges were actually buying Matic. So that is something interesting to take note of. I still like Matic as a long at 68, 69 cents. And look, I'll keep my eyes on it on my watch list. And, you know, over the next couple of days, if we do get some more downside, 68, 69 is my level that I like for Matic. Eric needs more dad jokes for the kids. Yeah, tell me about it, bro. When I tell my kids dad jokes, they roll their eyes at me. I don't know. Do dad jokes even count if you're telling your kids a dad joke? Okay, guys, let's take a look at the next one here. We've got Algo. So there was a little bit of news in Algo. I know this is a quiet one. I never really trade this, but it did catch my attention. And they expanding in India, or they're doing all sorts of things there. And, you know, there might be some more activity here for Algo. So I wanted to pull out the weekly chart for you guys. I mean, this thing has been an absolute lagger. This is something I haven't been interested in at all. But now that there's a little bit of news and things happening with it, maybe we need to start looking at this thing. So the first area that I would look at for Algo as a potential target here is 0.162. So the Algo fans, if Algo is your thing, this is what we're looking at. And a potential flag forming here. So this is an interesting setup currently for Algo. And if we get that breakup of the flag, we know what's going to happen. We get the break, we get the retest, and then they're going to send it higher. So what I would suggest is watch the current supports here, 0.129 and watch 0.122. Those are your main kind of support regions right now on daily candles, and could be a nice move coming here for Algo. So just be a little bit patient with it, but 0.16 is a zone of interest here for us. Guys, let us know what else is pumping here. Spartan says DOT is ripping. No, man. Is DOT ripping, guys? we need a look. We need a look. Okay. Let's pull up the next one, AVAX. This is another one we were watching yesterday. And again, 382 support. So AVAX is behaving. It's holding its levels for now. And same play as the other ones. I've been building an AVAX position and just clipping off here on these 382s here. If we do get a little dip lower, I'm looking at extra buys here at 20.3 as well. I've also opened up an AVAX bot trade, believe it or not. And that is something I might want to be doing after I've spoken to Simon here with the Lux Algo stuff. I might open a bot trade on one of these tokens that I've got in store here. So AVAX, interesting for me. It has shown strength recently, and you can see these levels are quite clear. It's holding this 382. If this 382 fails, you've got your backup here at 20.2. And then you know your lows. Your lows are 19.4 and your big support at 18.9. That is quite a strong support region. So if we lose that, we are very dark out there, and we don't even want to be in these positions when things are falling over like that. So that is something we're going to watch. Okay, I've got another one for you, PYTH. Let's see how that is going, and it's just hanging on. So yesterday, guys, we were looking at this one. Again, holding the 618, just hanging around in this region. All is not lost here. It's holding on for now. Let's see how it's going to play out. It looks like they're going to try and dip us lower and just flush out some of these longs here. You know, when we get these levels holding like this, at some point they want to come and just flush and grab some of those stops before they send it. So look out for something like this on PYTH. Don't be surprised if they come and try and flush out now, because you can see we've had a lot of buys in this area, holding it up here at the 618. It's the most obvious area. And yeah, don't be surprised if they come and flush and then send it up afterwards. If they do come down though, and we reject here, you want to wait and be patient. Wait for the support buy here at 0.29. So that is the next region. So if we drop below and we don't reclaim, probably downturn, we're looking at 0.29. Okay, guys, you need to start firing up the likes, because I've got a queue of guests here and a queue of content that I want to bring you guys. Let's see, Ray. What's the likeage here, Ray?
Likeage right now, we're at 225.
225. Okay, fire up the likes there, Ray. Tell them what to do. Okay, guys, I want to bring on Simon. Fire it up, Ray. Okay, Simon.
What's up? They must not like money. These likes, man.
I mean, Ray asked that question yesterday. Okay, so I need your help. I'm looking at 2 tokens. Okay, 2 tokens are looking very interesting to me. Potential entries. I want to maybe enter one of these at least. And I need some 𝗏𝗏 science mixed with my science. The first one I want to talk to you about. IMX. Okay, yesterday I identified this region. This was an interesting zone for me, this 382. We just had to be patient. We've now drifted into this 382 zone. So what I want to know from you, are we longable here on the 382? Or do I have to be more patient here, wait for the 618? What are you seeing out there?
I'll show you. Bring me up. You see my screen there?
It's loading. There we go.
Cool. Right, well, this is exactly the same as what I got marked out as you. Obviously, I drew the fib, but I've deleted it now because we've just got 𝗏𝗏 running. So there's a couple of conflicting points at the minute. One of them namely being these candles are still quite red. They're still quite bearish. But in honesty, this support level, which I've drawn in at 122.25, we're not there yet. And there's every opportunity that this you see behind the price action, guys, there's this red trend catcher line. Generally, it means when it's green, we're going up, and then it flattens off, and then when it comes down, we're going red. So at this point, it's quite a steep angle, but it will literally quite possibly go like that, and then it can go green. So at which point, the candle could make a bounce off this line. And then what I'm seeing that actually confirms that might happen is on both sets of indicators. I've got market cipher here, and I've got 𝗏𝗏 here. Both of them haven't finished dipping yet, Dill. Normally when you get a dip, although it's nice and low, you get this green spot, right? You get a turn, and then you get the spot buy. We don't have a turn yet. What we've still got is the tail end, although it might just flatten out. We're at 19 over here, okay, on the RSI. This is not the stock, this is the regular RSI. So we are down at 19 already. So what is likely it could happen is that can make the turn and we get the spot. At the same time, on market cipher, when you get a nice dip in cash flow, you get a green spot and then it makes the push up. What we've got here is we had a spot there, it pushed up to a fake out, we've come down again off this red spot. Now what we're looking for is just this push down, a spot here, and the continuation, which would line up with this. And then hopefully, if all is well, that 382 will act as a springboard. So there's a couple of things we need to see happen first. We're on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, I'd probably like to see the candles go green, or at least purple to show a change is coming. And then I'd like to see that RSI bottom out and then make a push up.
What is your downside here? Your cloud. What is that area there? Does that tie in with 1, or is that too low?
Let's just get rid of some of these. Hold on, so we can see what's going on. Yeah, man. Honestly, it does get a bit confusing sometimes. Right. So we're looking at this cloud here, right? So on the 4 hourly, you're asking about this range, yeah? So if the price was to bounce up to this cloud and come down here, it's about the 115, 116. So that would line up probably, where are we? So there's your support line there. If it's not just going to stop here, if it's going to come down, I imagine we're going to come down here and the cloud will turn to meet it. And it's more likely that you'll catch this here. And this level is 108 down to 107, these sort of areas here, okay? Is that your 618, or is that not quite?
My 618 is at 1.
Ah, okay. So you're on this one. So there's obviously, so you've got this here, haven't you? You've got quite a large area of support there, which it could meet.
Okay.
I mean, if it does meet that and it starts to make out this, then you've got yourself a head and shoulders.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you why I like this long. Yeah. The 4 hours oversold, the 8 hours oversold, the 12 hours oversold, the daily is oversold on the stochastic. So for me, I'm starting to get interested in laddering into a position here. Let me just show you my chart one more time.
Yeah. Well, that stochastic is low, hey? Really low.
Yeah. So if you take a look at this 8 hour, look how low that is. It's double bottomed there. If you take a look at the 4 hour, which is the key one that I always watch, it's also bottomed out here. So to me, it's telling me there's a reversal coming. I mean, I can't predict when, but you know, it feels like there's something coming. So maybe one more flush, but yeah, this looks like something we want to build as a position. I know the gaming guys love IMX, and I know Hustle's a massive fan of this.
I love it. So I love it as well.
Okay, so that's the one. I just want to look at DOT because everyone's shouting in the chats here. Okay, so DOT is breaking a daily trend. So this is good stuff, guys. This is nice. Okay, so if you are playing in DOT right now, here's your resistance zone ahead. Okay, it's very clear here, 5.65. Okay, that is a clear resistance area you need to pay attention to. And DOT now breaking trend, so that's great. What we want to see is a push up, a little rejection, or a big one, and then a support buy again. So right now it's sticking its head out. So there's a couple of ways to play this. I mean, if you have risk appetite, you can put your stop under the daily candle here, 5.1. But a slightly risky play, obviously. Here's your 382 support, lower down, 4.9, 5 on the button. And then lower down, we've got 4.8. So look, nice to see DOT breaking trend. Is there any news floating around there in the chats, guys? Let us know. I mean, why would DOT pump? DOT, what is this? DOT 2.0? What's the story? Do you know?
No, not yet. It's definitely not ready to do that. But the candle, look at it now. It's pushing right now, isn't it?
Yeah, this thing is ripping. Okay, so guys, just be careful.
I'm just looking at 𝗏𝑥 real quick. Things are facing up completely, like completely facing upwards. It's a vertical look on the RSI. It's a vertical look on the VWAP. Everything's facing up, like straight up. So this does seem like a genuine fake.
Bullish? Genuine fake out.
Genuine fake out.
What do you mean? So is this not a safe move?
No, it's not. It's not a fake out. Well, listen, I think I'm a bit dubious after spending 14 months in a down cycle with DOT. So I don't believe anything DOT does anymore. But I mean, look, down. Yeah, you're telling me, mate. I've staked it all, but it's still nowhere near zero.
So what I suggest, look for support here. Look for the support, 5.3. If you get the support forming here, 5.3. Then you're away. You know, that's pretty much how you can play it. So resistance zone, you can see this band up here. That's a resistance area just ahead. But yeah, for me, I've chosen AVAX. Hopefully not going to be a mistake now, and I'm going to stare at DOT that's pumped like 20% or something. Okay, so that is that one, and then help me with the next one. The next entry I'm looking for, GRT. So I've been planning this one for the day. I see it's running away from me a little bit now. I was looking for a dip into the 618 and horizontal region. They bled us into this a little bit this afternoon. I was looking for a little bit more here. What are you seeing here?
You were looking for about 13.8, yeah? Just under 14 cents, right?
Yeah.
I'll show you. Let me know when I'm up. Am I in? Is it loaded?
Yep.
All right, cool. So, GRT, guys. So we have had a short that played out. Not very hugely well. I mean, this short you wouldn't have maybe taken because your candles weren't even red and you had a green trend. So this was more of a half-assed kind of short. Nonetheless, the short played. There was a TP. And at the end of the TP is either going to be a second TP or the long. Now, looking at this is really flat, guys. It's really low. Let me just zoom in to show you all. So if you look at how these particular waves work, they come down, and they get, let's show you a better example. There we go. They come down, they get thin, they disappear, and then a green spot comes. What we're essentially doing right now is jumping ahead of the green spot. So it's coming down, getting thin. The next candle, which is the 4 hours in 13 minutes, right, Dill? I'm not sure what time zone it's calculated on.
4 hour is in 12 minutes.
So in 12 minutes, we may well have seen a front run here where the green spot comes. So what we've seen here and we've seen here looks like it's playing out here. So it's come down. The RSI is, the momentum wave's flattening out. There's a green spot. We can look down at 𝗏𝑈 indicator real quick, and we can see that although cash flow is still red, and that indicates by this sort of downward motion here, it's made its way up. It's come down again. Now, what has happened is you've got a green spot on the RSI, which means it's turning up. So it's quite possible that the cash flow will also turn up, make its push, come back over the horizon like this and go green. And then we get our next set of green candles. So this could play out like so. This goes green. This begins to make its way up, and then price action begins to go green as well. So from the looks of it, this is saying there's a long coming. This is saying there's a long coming. This is saying just hold on for a little while. The trend is green, but most of it is saying go now. But the only thing that's holding you back is the cash flow. It's still flowing out, not in. But everything else, including the trend, is green.
Okay, so these are the options then. So if you look at IMX or GRT, which one do you prefer?
Looking at this stochastic. No, IMX. I have to be honest, I like IMX. I like the look of IMX. What do you think? What do you think?
It's funny, my instinct is to go with GRT, but I've never really traded IMX. Okay, so guys, there are two trades available potentially. Okay, you've seen the goods, you've seen the positives, you've seen the negatives. Here's a possible setup right now for GRT. So this is a support bounce buy. You've seen the evidence backing up the potential long. Your first risk is 1.69% from this current entry zone. That's assuming you buy this aggressive entry here, this low. Then you wait for it to push higher, and you can always add as it moves higher. So that is option one with a 1.6% risk. Next option is to take a deeper move here down to, call it 4% risk, down to that low, and stagger in some buyers. So you could grab something here, and if there's more downside, you can start buying into the support region, and then you can start cutting once you start losing those levels. So option one is about a 1.7% risk for you. Option two is about a 4% risk for you. And upside, well, we'd like to target these highs again. So potential 14% play here on GRT. And remember, if you're jumping in before these trend breaks, you can ladder into positions regardless. And if we do break the trends and things turn bullish, you can add to your positions, you can grow the size, you can play with that leverage that I've shown you guys before on your exchanges. And then you can grow that position. So if it does start moving up to the 0.16 region, then you can start adding, and you can bring your stops up to those support levels that we see. After we get the trend breaks, we see those retest areas, we can bring our supports up and stops up to those regions. Okay, guys, let me know in the chats. What do you prefer, GRT or IMX?
So I see that Rect just called for IMX. I can show you one more on Casper if you want to have a look in a minute, if you have time. You know I love Casper.
Guys, the Casper man is here. Okay, so Dot's still looking strong. We've got, Bruce is coming with AAVE, and he's got one other setup. Okay, Ray, what's the like situations here?
The like situation is going up exponential. We're at
Exponential?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we still need 100 more.
Okay, guys, Bruce is coming on now. He's bringing you AAVE, and he's bringing you another setup. And then I've got a gem from Simon. I'm holding him back. Okay, we bought a few little bags of this thing. We think it's a banger. So we're going to need some likeage, though, for that. So, Ray, you need to watch the likeage there. Okay, Simon, see you now. Bruce.
Good morning.
How's it, Bruce?
It's going really good. Watching Bitcoin kind of muddle around, doing a lot of up, down, and dragging everything else with it. Up, down, up, down, up, down. But
it's a challenge.
One of these days, it's going to behave.
Yeah. I don't want to not be long BTC for when it really blows up. Hanging on to these longs, I feel the pain just holding these positions, but look, at some point we're going to get rewarded, I think. Okay, so Bruce has got two bangers for us. One of them was that AAVE breaking trend. Can we look at that, Bruce?
Yep. Actually, it pulled back a little bit. Let me try to bring my chart up.
Yeah.
Actually, it pulled back a little bit, which is making it a little more attractive. We got basically break, retest, came down. From this move, it retested exactly hashtag 𝗖𝗵_618 right there. It came back and it's been kind of creating this wedge right over here, rejecting off that trend line, rejected it right there, 2 candles in a row, rejecting it down while maintaining support at that 618 area. So if you get in right now, and I'm not saying to do that because I wouldn't, because it's pulling down, you'd have about a 2%, actually 1.78% stop, but it kind of looks like it's just going to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin's being leaky right now. It makes a little pump up, a little pump down. Everyone gets excited or freaked. Just be patient. But I'm personally, if we can catch this thing just a little bit low, like right there at the 95.8 area, to me that'd be pretty slick. You'd end up with about a 1% stop below and be ready for the pump. If it loses, then you'd probably pick it up down at this next support level, which it already hit once previously. So pick it up down there. So you'd have a 1% stop and an extra 2.5% gain. So get stopped out, make more money. That's what I'm looking at for that one. And I think it's all dependent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues to just, it keeps on coming down this level and I think, oh God, we're going to lose it. And then it wicks back up. It's done it once, twice, 3, 4, and it's doing it again. But you got to keep in mind that it very well could come on down, tag this trend line, which has been respecting, which will trash all the alts for a moment.
That's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
Yep.
But guys, remember, this is key information. If BTC starts dumping, make sure you know where your next major level is on your altcoin. So we show you these all the time, but just make sure you pull out your favorite altcoins. You know where your big levels are, hopefully tying in with something like a 618 or a 786 if you get that dump. And those are going to be major bounce zones when we do get those moves. So make sure you have your charts ready if you do see something falling over. Okay, Bruce, what was the other one you had here?
Well, I can do PYTH, Solana, Chiliz, or LPT. You call.
So give us LPT. We've looked at Chiliz and PYTH today. Well, Chiliz was yesterday. We are still long Chiliz. Let's see LPT.
So I'm already in this one. I got into this one down over here. I added on here. Let me show you a little cleaner. Come on. There we go. All right. So I took my first entry in LPT over there. I added on to it over there. It broke through and it's retesting the support level, which would be sweet. So if you haven't gotten into it yet, I would track this down right over there. I'd be looking at something around probably 6.225, somewhere in that area. I just put a trend line over there and wait till it looks like it's going to break it. My stop currently is underneath this low. So my stop currently is under 6.082, just to be safe. Once this thing pushes up, I will push the stop loss on this one from here, which is where it is. I'll push it to under that low. Once this shows that this is gonna turn up over there, if it does, I'll move it up to there and then start managing the trade. First TP I have on this one is probably going to be around 6.713, and then we'll manage it after that.
Okay, nice.
It's a good one.
I'm still torn between IMX and GRT. GRT looks like it's ready to go now. IMX looks like it could take a little bit longer.
Yep, I'm already in this one. IMX, by the way.
Are you in IMX? Oh, is that your entry coming? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little underwater, but not much.
Okay, let's look at. Got a request here for Filecoin. Okay, Ray, what's the likeage here, guys? We got some big stuff coming for you. We've got small cap.
I want big stuff.
What are we looking at, Ray?
We're 20 away from 500. Let's go.
Oh, come on. Really? Hold on.
20 away. No, guys, come. We need a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
a little bit more. Come, get a bit stronger
I
there
did
for
my
us.
like. I just did my like.
Oh no, I like it. They gotta like it. They gotta
Can't like your own work. Okay, so Filecoin, let me show you my Filecoin chart here.
Yeah.
So it is tracking down, but there's a lovely area here on Filecoin. If there is more Filecoin weakness, this is a banger zone here. This 4.1, 4.12. If you do get it, don't be fearful. If you are bleeding in Filecoin here, Filecoin 4 hour, you've got the 618, you've got this 50-day MA, you've got this horizontal support. We can see this 4 hour stochastic is starting to dip lower here. You know, maybe we're going to get something there. So yeah, I wouldn't panic yet if you are long file. And you can see there's a little trend here you can play with as well. So if it does turn early, you can just play that trend game. But big support region coming in. So look, it is another about 8 or 9% though. So it could okay, it's about 5. It's about 5% from here. So you could sweat a little bit, but look, a nice support region coming. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but 50-day MA, 618 horizontal. I like that zone on Filecoin. Okay, Ray, have we hit our 5 gazillion likes?
We sure did. Thank you, fam.
Okay, Simon. I'm bringing Simon back up.
Woo!
Okay.
5 gazillion. Right.
Okay, talk to me.
Okay, right, guys. What would you say? We like a layer 1, right? There's so many layer 1s. We know there's loads and loads of problems with security and scalability and all the other stuff that's going on, right? So how about a layer 1, which is quantum resistant, their terminology, not mine, means it's future-proof, unhackable, allegedly, okay? So that's the first thing. Seed phrases will eventually be able to be hacked. It's just a selection of words. This new layer 1 claims to be absolutely impenetrable in the future. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is privacy. We all know how big a deal privacy preservation is, right? This new layer 1 is apparently entirely private, and there's the blockchain and the wallets are hidden. On the block, you can still see the blockchain transactions, but they are anonymous, so that's cool. We've got an $80 to $90 million market cap currently, okay, and it's touted as a post-quantum layer 1 blockchain. So I wonder if anyone knows what I'm talking about in the comments. Have we got anyone?
Okay, well, let us know in the comments. Start guessing. Let us know.
I want to see. There might be a couple now because we have briefly spoken about this. We are in.
Guys,
we bought in. Yep.
These 2 legends are in the Sniper Club all day long, hanging out with you guys, dropping information, dropping this alpha. This was dropped in the Sniper Club already, I believe. Am I right?
This was dropped.
Yeah.
This was dropped.
Okay.
And a load of people got in and they 2x'd already.
Okay, so they 2x already. Okay, so this is why we bring you the alpha here. You got to meet the boys. These are the Sniper Club legends. Okay, have they guessed yet what's going on?
One of them's almost guessed. So there we go. So anyway, I'll tell you, there's one other thing. Currently, it's so new. There's no listing on CoinGecko and there's no listing on CoinMarketCap, which means that the market cap is estimated by calculation rather than one of the websites telling us. But what's really cool, if you get in now, okay, and this is not saying you have to go get in now, you must do your own research, you've got to look at these things. Anything can go to zero. If you get in now, there's a 𝗕𝗁𝘁 listing tomorrow.
Oh.
You know what that means. You know what that means, guys.
Yep.
Bump it. You know. Okay, so
one
guys,
person's guessed it.
Did they get it? No way.
Someone, the first one I saw.
Obviously, it was
No,
𝗵𝗵.
It was actually Josh. 𝗵𝗵 got a spelling mistake on it, and then Josh dropped it, and then 𝗵𝗵 got it correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so guys, just again in summary, this is a risk play. This is a small cap. A lot of talk about it. They are going on to 𝗕𝗁𝘁, but it could go to zero. You need to understand that. We've all bought some of this thing. We think it's a good buy. We think it's you know, you don't ape in your life savings into these things. You put small amounts into these little guys, and maybe you get a 10x out of it. Maybe you get a 5x. You know, like,
can I bring my screen up real quick? Is that all right?
Yeah, bring your screen up. If it's first to market, for example, you know what things like Unibot did, or Rollbit did when they were first to market for their respective categories. So maybe this is something here that you could get, you know, a couple of X's on.
Yeah. So it's called Abelian. The token is ABEL. You can pick it up currently on. I want to just show you the actual link. Hang on. So it's currently on xt.com. If you go and get it on xt.com, you're going to beat the listing, which is tomorrow. Look at that. There you go. Tomorrow. Trading starts on the 1st of December on 𝗵𝗀𝗄. So you could potentially front run the 𝗵𝗀𝗄 pump, which you know can be hectic. And also we've got a small dip at the minute. Now I'm told that the reason for the dip is because there is a sell-off, while something to do with tokens are bought and moved and 𝗵𝗀𝗄's buying and so on and so forth. But it's apparently a pre-listing dip. So the dip is currently occurring now. You can go on, you can register here. We started buying into this when it was about $1. No, it was less than $1. I think it was 85 cents or something. It's dropped back from 185 today, but at 148, it's pretty good. The high today was 185. So straight away, this pre-launch dip is probably going to get munched straight back up. So this looks pretty good, but it can go to zero. Okay.
Is there a chart on this thing?
Not that I can find. The only charts, the only charts there are those basic. You know what? Sometimes, Dill, you have to go with your gut. This would be, if it works out, this would be an amazing move. So it's up to the guys. They must do their own research. They've got to understand they take on their risk, and that this can go to zero. You know, it can.
Yeah. Okay, and I see. Yeah. Okay, guys, Bruce, Simon, thank you.
You're very welcome.
See you later.
Pleasure.
So guys, I see DOT is ripping. That seems to be our best performer of the day. Take a look out there if there's any relevant news. But remember, DOT is now pushing 5.56 currently. So we're looking at DOT pushing into a resistance area. So just play safe out there. Then we've got things like BTC. It is melting down a little bit. I want to give you one more recap on BTC on how we see it play out. And again, these altcoins, we've got to watch these solid support zones. If BTC does want to sneeze and dip a little bit lower, you've got to make sure you know where your levels are on your altcoins. And I've gone through a couple of these with you today. Let me get my BTC chart back up here for you. So just to summarize where we are, and again, what we're watching, BTC is having a second dip at the 618 currently. Let's see how we go here. Remember that massive liquidation level down at 36,700. If we do get this move on BTC and things start falling over, the first thing you want to do is dial into dominance on a very small time frame. So look at it maybe on the 15 minutes and things like that. Let's get a nice perspective as to what's happening. If BTC is dumping and dominance is dumping, it means the alts are getting hurt, but they're not getting hurt as bad. So look for that dominance to come down. And when BTC pings a nice solid level, check where your alts are. They should be on their corresponding levels then, and then you can start laddering in and grabbing some positions. So as long as dominance is dropping when BTC is dropping, then I'm a bit more comfortable. And yeah, always a good thing when that starts falling over for us. Guys, once again, that was great. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. Wish me luck on those gold and S&P shorts. I see oil actually reversed now, so we're going to see how that's going to play out tomorrow. I'll update you guys with that one. We'll see how it goes. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you.